What's going on? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to welcome to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I think I surprised my wife because I popped in so quick and got us started right away. Sorry about that, babe. You know what? I should
Okay.
have until you were ready. I should have gave you a proper introduction. Didn't mean to jar you. Sorry. All right, so anyway, let's hop into the conversation. So, did anybody hear about Tyrese getting arrested? Apparently, the actor Tyrese was just locked up over some child support issues, which is sad and disturbing and concerning. But it happens, right? And apparently, it was over about $73,000 worth of child support, about 72 or 73, something like that. And he was, as usual, in the Tyrese fashion, he was whining a lot about it on the internet. He seems to feel the need to take a lot of personal issues to the web. And to discuss this issue, I brought my wife, who Dr. Alicia Watkins, who is a relationship therapist. She's a licensed therapist and full professor of social work, and also she's a mother. How you doing today, babe?
I'm doing great as a mother and a social worker. How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, I didn't mean to throw you off with that. I should have I should have gave you a heads up
You
to let
just
you know.
threw me right on the invoice, but that's okay.
That's it. You're a strong black woman. You got this, girl. You got this.
I've never said that to
I
you.
know. I
I've
know.
never in a million years
Well,
ever said
you are strong. You're very determined, and I want to publicly acknowledge that. You're very focused, and you work out every day. You get up at 5 in the morning, and I brag about you all the time. Do you know that?
no, I did not know that. That
Yeah. Like seriously, anybody in the chat that give tell my wife, don't I brag about her all the time? Don't I always tell y'all how
you
amazing
do
she is in
that.
terms of how dedicated she is? Put a yes in chat. Somebody say yes so that she'll believe me, because I don't think she's gonna believe me. She doesn't know I brag about her. I brag about her because she reminds me of just yet another high flying, high achieving black woman, just kicking ass, taking names. But I ain't
I'll
intimidated
take
by
that
that.
as a compliment. It's a
Yeah,
compliment,
yeah, that's
right?
a
All right.
compliment.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a compliment. I don't know who these guys are that get all intimidated and angry when women go to school and make money and stuff. And I know that doesn't bother me at all. I know how to make money too, and I went to school a long time, so maybe that's what it
Okay.
is. Maybe you got to get your money up, get your
So you
education
wouldn't
up.
rather have someone who's like, I want to live the soft life.
Well, you know what? I don't know. I've never understood. I've never. I mean, I've never really understood men who are intimidated by a woman's accomplishments. I just doesn't. I just don't get that. I mean, I think that really is an insecurity issue you got to kind of work through,
Mhm.
because her achievements don't take anything away from what you can do. And just be a man. You don't need permission to be a man. Just be a man. But anyway, with that said,
Okay.
speaking of men, and hello everybody. I see y'all in there. First of all, I want to acknowledge Ronald and Arla Plum and Kyra Clark. I see Elisa, Kathy Thomas, Kashif. Good to see you. I hope you all are doing well. Paige Allen. I just want to acknowledge all of you. And a lot of you were here earlier when I was talking to Dr. Cornell West. And Dr. West, by the way, Dr. Cornell he talked about you a lot in the interview.
Did he? I've got to listen. I would love to, boys. I would just love to just sit and listen to you all day long. I really would,
Oh,
like seriously. But sometimes I just can't get it all in a day. Like so
Yeah.
busy.
Well, you got to check out the conversation I had with Dr. West. He was really
Okay.
dynamic, and he had some really interesting things to say. And I've always admired him. I just think he's one of the great ones, one of the good ones. He's great and he's good. Those are two different
Yes.
things. So let's talk about Tyrese. What do you know about the situation with Tyrese? What have you been following? Have y'all been following? Give me a yes or no if you know that singer Tyrese. I'm asking everybody in chat real quick, and then I want your take, babe. Do y'all know that Tyrese got arrested for something related to child support? How many of y'all know about this? Give me a yes if you followed this at all. In case you haven't followed it, Tyrese has been pretty vocal publicly about his battles in child support court with his wife, his ex-wife, Samantha Gibson. Samantha, I think that's her name, Samantha Gibson. And apparently it came to a head. Tyrese had actually warned the public and basically said they're going to arrest me, et cetera, et cetera. And they did. The next day he got locked up, and I think he got out. He had paid maybe $73,000 in child support, and he paid it off miraculously and was able to get out. What are your thoughts, babe? And did you follow any of this?
Yeah, and you know what, Samantha, she's a social worker like myself. So,
Oh,
and I mean, it's unfortunate that somebody has to go to that length in order to get the non-custodial parent to adhere to what they agreed to do because they were married. And when you get divorced, you go in front of a judge and both of you sit there and you talk about what you agreed to do, how you're going to split your assets. Each person takes what they're supposed to get, and then both of you get together and talk about how you're going to care for the child or children in the relationship. And so we expect everybody to follow through with that agreement. And if you don't, there are just consequences to not paying child support, and it backs up and it just accumulates. And I don't want to point fingers and talk terrible about someone, but I'm imagining that perhaps Samantha felt like she was just in a position where she was getting nowhere and she had to go to the courts. It's unfortunate. Yeah.
interesting. Well, I'll tell you, I can't speculate on who's at fault and whatever. I think we all can agree that kids have to eat. And give me a yes if we can all at least agree that the father should be paying some significant portion of that cost of providing for the kids. Give me a yes if you agree with that. I do believe in child support. I'm an 18-year veteran of the child support system. I didn't pay as much as Tyrese is being ordered to pay, but I didn't make the same amount of money. And he apparently Tyrese has two kids. I think he had another ex-wife or mother of his child. I can't remember if he
I
got
think he
married or
was
not.
married twice. Yeah.
Was he married? Okay. And it's unfortunate when it gets down to that because it almost seems like as we get in the middle of arguing over whose fault it was, he's being a deadbeat, she's being greedy, just that sort of standard argument. What gets
Yeah.
lost really is the impact on the kids. So as a therapist, and I know you see clients and you see families all the time. What would you say to a family where the mother and father are going at it publicly, and the father is getting on the internet and talking publicly about his feelings about what's going on and what the mother's doing? What would you say to a family like that?
I talked about this on Fly Nubian Money, and he really needs a support system. I know I've said this before because Kanye West went online and started airing his frustrations about his divorce and child support and all of that online. I don't know if that's the best tactic to do, but I just think that we have to look at it from both sides, right? He is probably men in general are just frustrated, and men don't have the type of support, generally emotional support, that a lot of women just naturally have. And so they get wits in and they just take to the internet and they air their frustrations on the internet because they don't have, I think, the proper support system of which they can vent to in a private way. So I really encourage men to just somehow, either through therapy or through some other channel, get a support, galvanize some support so that you don't have to air your dirty laundry in publicly because his children could look at this. So I definitely don't support that. Now, on women's side, who are typically the custodial parent, I haven't seen Samantha air or talk about their relationship. I do follow her on social media. I do follow her YouTube channel, and I've never heard her speak ill about him. She cryptically, she probably does, but I never hear her really talk terrible or address any of the issues that she's having with Tyrese. So, I mean, I just think that that's not a good look, and Tyrese is known for like crying, picking up his phone and going live and just tears coming down his face. And we saw his Breakfast Club interview where he's just crying about men. And that's unfortunate. I think he needs some help.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that for sure. I think that if I were to talk to him, I would probably ask him to think about the kids, just because I think he has two kids. And I just know I don't know how many of y'all, give me a yes or no, how many of you would have a problem if your dad was on the internet while you were maybe 7 years old and talking crazy about your mama? How many
I
y'all?
would be mortified.
How many y'all? How many y'all would kind of say like, "Hold up, wait a minute, Dad. Like this is not cool. You know, you got to chill with that, pops. You can't keep doing this." How many y'all would probably have an issue with that? And anybody who says no, you know, it's okay. Someone says I would not. David says I would not. I would
Yeah.
because my mama is sacred. You know, mama is. You just don't talk about my mama. You know, it's that's just what it is. You know, mama could be crazy on crack or whatever, and a lot of kids will still love their mothers through almost anything. And so I think it's kind of it would be odd to expect that as a father you could talk about your child's mother in publicly and have the child just say, "Oh, I get it now. My mama, the person who's fed me every day, is really a terrible person, and now I understand." I don't know if that's the right way to handle it, and I think, in fact, I strongly believe it's not. Now, if you move into that a little deeper, you know, I think that to your point about Tyrese having emotional issues, that's you know that's a given. I mean, poor brother, he's cried online so many times. It's so interesting to watch. I don't know what that means exactly. Sounds like maybe there is a mental health thing going on. I know. And you and I, you know, you saw me trying to talk to Kanye all those hours and how frustrating that was, and that didn't get anywhere. And what's interesting is that Kanye and Tyrese, one thing they have in common is that they both are stressed out about their relationships.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna go ahead and speak from my perspective, kind of as a guy. I would say that the double-edged sword, the blessing and the curse of being a celebrity at that level is that you have whatever you want. You know, you're attracting the baddest, prettiest women, and you got the money, and everywhere you go, everybody gives you what you want. Everyone hears you, like whatever you have to say, like they're hanging on your every word, and it can build your ego a lot. And I think sometimes celebrities can get a little bit spoiled, you know. And so when I hear Tyrese, and also to some extent Kanye, when they're sort of publicly saying, "Look at me, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me," even though there's millions of other people kind of going through the same thing, it kind of makes me wonder. It's sort of like, come on, man. Like, you're whining about the same thing that millions of fathers go through? You know, I'm gonna say though, I don't like the way the child support system is laid out. I don't think a man should. I don't like sending people to jail because they don't have enough money. You know, I can't imagine sending a mother to jail because let's say that she was too poor or she had some money and she spent it and didn't save enough for the kids. Like I don't think we would support that. So I think that downside of sending a father to jail is not the best solution because a father in jail really can't pay anything. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I think sending them to prison. Well, first of all, the amount of money that you pay in child support, you have to show how much money you make. And then there's a formula. So in California, all of us, whatever state you live in, there's a formula there that looks at your salary and how much you make. And I'm certain in California, if you're an actor, money is coming in kind of differently than regular working people. But there's a formula. And I know that it seems to be what I know in Illinois, it seems to be pretty fair. There's a certain percentage based on your salary that you pay in child support. And so it's like that for everybody. Like everyone who's the non-custodial parent has to pay a certain percentage based on how many children you have with that person. Now, I know it's like that if you're married and divorced. I'm not certain what it's like when you just take somebody to court, but in their situation, yeah, I mean, I really don't like having to take them to jail, but you know what? It was effective. As soon as they started talking about locking him up, all of a sudden he came up with the $73,000. And, you know, unless you squeeze some people, he was never, ever going to be able, didn't seem like he was going to pay that money. And I think that's unfortunate. And I would hate for this to be an example of, see, if we don't put the handcuffs on them, they're not going to either pay. And I really hate the image of this story getting out there, and it's making Black men look bad. You know, it's making Black men look like deadbeats. And that is not true. So many men that I know, Black men in particular, they don't mind paying child support. They know their kids cost money and children are expensive. Most men that I know, Black men, They're like, I have no issue paying child support. That's the least I could do to help support and raise my children, because the best way to love your children is to love the mother. This is for all men. And for women, the best way to love your children is to love and respect the parent, the father of your children. And I think that we need to, and I see that happen a lot. So I hate to see this kind of blow up on the news as, something, a symbol of Black men, just being deadbeats. And I think that's a stereotype that's not fair to Black men.
Everybody, in case you came in, I'm speaking with my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. This is Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my wife, Dr. Alicia. What's up, Dr. Vibe? And my wife is a licensed therapist and a full professor of social work. And if you want to get to know more of what she does, she sees clients on an individual basis. She sees couples. She sees families. You can go to coachingwithdralicia.com. That's coachingwithdralicia.com. So she's fully licensed in all this. Also, she's certified in trauma, which is heavy in the Black community. It affects our relationships. It affects our physical health. It affects our mental health. It affects our finances. So we have decided to have a war on trauma. We are really battling to get as much as we can to get to as many people as possible to heal. You've got to heal because that is what could be holding you back from achieving whatever you want to achieve. So if you'd like to learn more, please visit coachingwithdralicia.com. Also, every morning I do free financial consciousness training. It's something called Money in the Morning, the Art of Economic Elevation. If you'd like to join us for this free class, just text the word morning to the number 87948, or you can also go to b1moneytips.com. That's b1moneytips.com. And we're also on Spotify. So we everywhere. All right. So so we're talking about Tyrese, and Tyrese, who just, because of his messy situation with his ex-wife, Samantha Lee, had just went to jail for not paying child support. He got out very, very quickly. He paid off the $73,000 really fast. And now he's out, and he let everybody know he was going to go to jail. And this led to, in my view, me to say, gosh, I really want to talk about child support because it's such a complex thing. I'm going to say this. I'm going to talk about my experience in the child support system. I didn't enjoy, first of all, I didn't enjoy going to court. I felt like it was dehumanizing. I remember the prosecutor being very disrespectful toward me. And I also felt like it was taxation without representation. Even though I had, because I still remember when, no disrespect to my daughter's mother, I ain't got nothing negative to say about her at all. I'm not going to do that at all. But I remember when I got that job at Syracuse, I started suddenly making over $100,000 a year. Suddenly I got a notice for more money. And it was a non-trivial amount of money. It was a lot of money. It was enough money that I just hated paying that much. And it wasn't because I didn't want to take care of my daughter. It was because it felt like taxation without representation. You're writing this big check and you have no say of where this money goes. It's so it's not just a loss of money. It's also kind of a loss of power. If I spend, my feeling was if I spend this much money, I'd like to have some say in what the money's used for. And that actually led me to say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not having any more kids like this. I only want to have kids in a safe space. I did not feel safe because I felt financially, I'm not going to say violated, but it hurt. It hurt. And I remember one of the happiest days of my life was when my attorney called, attorney Nicole Compton out of Louisville. Shout out to Nicole. She called and said, you're okay. Your child support payments are done. Because I paid every penny. I did everything I was supposed to do. And I remember how relieved I felt because it freed up my money. Now, here's the thing. There's data on this. A lot of men, this is something when I talk to you all about wealth and family, those things are connected. It's deeply connected. We talk about this in Money in the Morning. Let me give y'all some quick stats to help you understand this. First off, this is why the destruction of the Black family was a multi-trillion-dollar loss for the Black community, multi-trillion-dollar loss. And the reason is that the lowest net worth in America, the poorest group of people in America, are single Black mothers with children. Did y'all know that? How many of y'all knew that? That the lowest net worth in America, median net worth, is a single Black mother with children. But let me tell you about the fathers. So when you talk about child support, men who pay child support can lose up to 40 to 50% of their disposable income, which affects their ability to cover their own living expenses. Also, if you have kids and your family structure doesn't stay together and you still got to support those kids, it makes it difficult for you to go and build another household because now you're funding two households. Or if you marry someone or date someone who has that kind of financial obligation, it's like a really gigantic, massive $300,000 or $400,000 student loan that they're paying, which can be really stressful on the family. Also, nearly 70% of all the fathers who owe back child support earn less than $10,000 a year, which is crazy. Third, there's a lot of unemployment legal consequences. A lot of fathers who fall behind on child support, a lot of times you'll be hit with a wage garnishment where they'll go into your paycheck, they'll seize your bank account, maybe send you to jail like Tyrese. And this makes the strain even worse. 1 in 8 fathers, check this out, 1 in 8 fathers in America, and they ain't even talking about black men, they're talking about 1 in 8 fathers of all races have literally lost their job from not being able to pay child support.
Yeah.
So this is pretty heavy. This is a big, like having that kid. I mean, you got to feed the baby. Somebody's got to do it. And then the family doesn't, stay together. Then that's going to be massive for people that are in that situation.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. And even if I don't know, you can look up some stats. I don't know if you're Googling it or chat GPT in it. Everywhere. But look up like even custodial parents, even we'll just say the custodial parent, the person who has custody of the child, even if they get child support from the non-custodial parent, they've done studies where they said even the custodial parent pays way more and gives way more to that child, more so percentage-wise than the actual non-custodial parents. So a lot of custodial parents collect little or nothing, if anything at all. And it is a lose-lose situation because, again, you made a brilliant point, Boyce. It's two people supporting this child, but they also have to maintain 2 separate households. And so you're always better together. It just makes sense that family planning is so important. And of course, there's no guarantee that a relationship will last forever, even a marriage will last forever, but it's so important to make sure that you do the best you can and as much as you can, it's possible to keep the family together and healthy together, not just, surviving together, but thriving together. It's so important.
Guess what the median wealth is for a single black? Sorry, let's start with white women. What's the median wealth level of a single white mother in America? Y'all guess in the chat. What y'all guess? And you guess too, Bet.
Single white mom?
Yep.
The median?
Mm-hmm.
Probably 40 something, 50.
It's only $18,000, right? So the white women, even the white women struggle.
That's not a lot of money.
Right. Okay. It's not. Guess what it is for black women?
Median. Oh, then it's gotta be half of that. I would say 8,000.
Zero. That's the median. The median is not the mean. The median is not the average. The median is the number right in the middle.
Oh, so in the middle. So that means they're operating at a deficit every month. It's like, what do I pay? I have to pay my mortgage, or do I pay the light bill? Do I pay the gas bill, or do I buy shoes for back to school? By the way, child support does not cover back to school shopping.
No, it does not. No, it does not. And that's an interesting point, right? So even though I do, my heart goes out to brothers that pay the child support and the mothers that are taking care of the kids. I mean, they're both, if they're doing the right thing, they're doing the best that they can. But let's just be honest, straight up. I mean, seriously, if Tyrese, how about this? Let's go to Tyrese. If Tyrese, who is this high-paid Hollywood actor, is being told to spend $10,000 a month on child support, given that this man has had years where he's made millions of dollars. I mean, he's not a C-lister. He might be a B-lister, or he's been in some billion-dollar movies, actually, movies that literally made $1 billion. $10,000 a month, honestly, is not that much for somebody like him.
No.
Especially given if he lived in that house, if they were still a family, he would probably spend far more than that on his family obligation, right? If you had the child and they're
Possible.
living, I just can't. I think it would cost more than $10,000 a month, given the lifestyle that he lives. I remember one time he's so interesting. He got into a beef with The Rock, which that's not
smart.
a fair fight, right? That's not going to work out for you. And I remember he was trying to flex on The Rock, and he was showing The Rock some kind of sports car he had or something. And I was like, I think The Rock could probably buy your car. He could buy your car, your house, and everything with the money in his pocket. You know, he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood. And anyway, so Tyrese does not live a broke man's lifestyle. He when he goes online, he does the whole internet flex, Instagram flex, like everybody else, and shows off what he has. And honestly, I've always been against. I've always told guys, like, stop flaunting what you have, because that's people are going to remember that, right? So you're flaunting that you got money to burn, but then when it comes to paying child support for your kid, you're like, 10,000 is too much, I can't do it. I'm that's a little confusing for me, right? I think he was paying about $2,200 a month. That's what the report said. And $2,200 a month,
That's nothing.
That's really nothing. A lot of y'all in this chat probably have a mortgage or rent that's more than $2,200 a month. So the idea that he's this actor that's been, I mean, seriously, how many of y'all have been in a Transformer movie?
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
If he's only paying 22, are you serious? He's paying $2,200 a month? Because I don't believe that's crazy.
Well, he's ordered to pay $10,000. He was paying, allegedly, this is what was in the news, what I read in the report. He was paying about $2,200 instead of the whole $10,000. And I guess the other $8,000 he was paying her with internet whining. He was giving $8,000 worth of internet bitching to make up for the money that he didn't pay. And now someone says $20K a month. I don't think he was ordered to pay $20K. I got to double check, but I think it was $10K. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. I know he's been fighting with this judge though, which that ain't a good idea. Fighting with The Rock and fighting with the judge. Yeah, that's not usually going to work out well for you, but good luck, man. Good luck, brother. I hope it works out for you. Yeah, Gibson was ordered to pay $10,600. This is the Hollywood Reporter. He was ordered to pay $10,690 a month in child support in April 2023. But Judge Kevin Farmer held him in contempt over non-payment. TMZ reported the news on this, and they said that he had to pay $73,525 in 48 hours, and there was $7,500 in legal fees. They said he had been paying $2,200 a month. Just under 25% of the amount that he was supposed to pay. So he's paying $2,200 a month. And I'm just going to tell you, I know entrepreneurs who are not famous actors who pay $2,200 a month for basic expenses. Like I know people that have paid. I know people that you'll never hear about who are not even super rich, who pay 40, 50, 60 grand a month in expenses to run a business or whatever. So the idea that he has trouble paying 10,000 either means that like a lot of actors are not doing as well as they claim to be doing, or B, he's kind of playing around a little bit. He's not really doing as much as he could. I'm not judging too much, but even though I don't like child support, I told y'all I hate it. Mm-hmm. And I don't like the idea of putting somebody in jail over money like this, but I do kind of think it almost seems like he could be doing a little bit more. And I'm wondering, babe, I want you to get your take on this. I wonder if his contempt for Samantha could be partially driving his lack of interest in making these payments. What do you say?
Yeah, he's trying to make her pay. He's trying to get, and that's not a good tactic. I mean, it's possible. I mean, we don't know, but what could possibly happening is that he's trying to make her pay. He's trying to dig into her because he may be, who knows the nature of, we don't really know the details about how they broke up, but whatever it is, there's probably some ill feelings. And maybe he's just like, I'm just done. I'm not going to do it, because to rack up 73,000, that means he went years. If it's 10,000, well, if it's $10,000, then he went at least 7 months, not paying, right? So right. An inconsistent payment. So at least half of the year she's been floating the boat, and so you're left with no choice. So yeah, it does make me wonder if he just has, and he could be conscious of it or maybe unconscious of it, of his anger toward her. He could be taking out his anger toward her by withholding those child support payments. And sometimes I feel like, I don't know if this is the case with him, but sometimes I see when people want attention, so it could be that he misses her or he wants attention from her, and so he'll withhold those payments so that it'll be a reason why she needs to reach out to him. You know, it's sometimes there's an unconscious tactic. Men and women do this, like both men and women do this. They use the children as a way of garnishing attention from somebody that they still have feelings for. So, I mean, you just never know, because, you know, if he was totally over the relationship, why not just pay the money, don't even think about it, and focus on shooting movies or making music or whatever he does in his Hollywood life. Yeah.
Well, by the way, everybody, if you just came in, you're watching Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my wife, Dr. Alicia, and Dr. Alicia is a licensed therapist and a full professor of social work. And I'm a finance professor, so we like to have fun and interesting conversations about things that are happening in the Black community, particularly things that involve love and money. I have a book I wrote when I was on the faculty of Syracuse University called Financial Lovemaking, and it's all about how to merge assets with your partner in ways that feel good. I don't know if you know, babe, I have a copy actually in my office right here. And so if you like this book, you can order it. If you want the hard copy, I'll sign it for you. You can go to drboycebooks.com. But if you just want the e-copy for free, you can have that for free. Just go to boyceandalicia.com and sign up there, and I'll give you a copy. And just sort of speaking on that, babe, you know, I have a theory. You want to hear one of my theories? She thinks my theories are half crazy, but I got a whole theory. I got a theory.
Not all of them, but some of them. I'm
right.
like,
well, okay,
no,
so I'm gonna lay my theory out. Okay, so you ready? You want to hear it?
What's your theory?
This is my theory in terms of it's part theory, part advice. Or not even advice. I don't give financial advice. It's part theory, part recommendation. Okay, y'all ready? This is for anybody who wants to be wealthy and who wants to have a wealthy family. Give me a yes if you want to be wealthy, if you want to have a wealthy family, and you want to have a stable, wealthy family. Give me a yes if that's something that you want. All right, so let's get our mind in the right frame and let's talk this through. And you can share this with your kids. Maybe some of y'all are old. That's okay too. It's all right to be older because you got grandkids and stuff. Takes this to them. Let them see this clip of the video. Here's what I believe. I believe that we know every study shows that the stability of your family, your ability to just stay together, stay in the same house without killing each other or leaving, is critically connected to your wealth. I know people who've done both. I know people who've left, and I literally know people who just said somebody gonna die today, and somebody did die. Like that's actually happened with people that I know. So if you have that ability to do that, that's gonna skyrocket your wealth. Most wealth is linked to family. If you want to get rich and you don't care about family, then you're probably not going to get rich. Babies' mamas don't get rich typically. Baby daddies struggle financially too. All right. So I would argue that the same way you went to college or school and you studied how to do whatever profession you have, like you studied how to be a dentist, maybe you studied how to be a nurse or whatever you studied. I think you should also study how to run a household, how to run a family. We used to have classes like that, like home economics and all that, but it should be a blend, like a little bit of that, but also just how to get along with each other. You know, like literally spending time maybe with a relationship couples counselor. That significantly increases the probability that you and your partner can raise that child in a stable household, so you don't have chaos like this, because this is going to traumatize the baby. The baby, a whole lot of money is going to go to some therapists because the baby's going to have to figure out how to process the fact that their father was on the internet talking crazy to millions of people about their mama. That's going to affect the child. So long story short, I encourage anybody, you know, they always use that term Planned Parenthood in one context. Well, Planned Parenthood should go in the other context too. Planned Parenthood should be when you plan to be a parent. That's when you study, read a book, get some help, get some support so you can maintain that thing just the same you would do as if you started a business. The only difference between starting a family and starting a business is that starting a family is more important than starting a damn business. And I bet your ass that a lot of y'all, if there's a seminar on how to start a business, y'all be up in there taking notes and getting instructions, signing up for $40,000 coaching programs and getting all this extra help and all that. But when it comes to starting a family, you're like, oh, we're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna figure it out. And then we don't. And then you have daddies on the internet crying because mama's taking the child support and the baby's caught in the middle. Let's think about these things. This is consciousness. This is financial consciousness. So there's my theory. I'm done. Thank you for letting me share. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really like that. So I got 3 books. I'm actually my next post on Instagram. I got 3 books for you guys. This book. Can y'all see that?
What book? What's it called? You have to read the title. I can't read it.
7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by John Gottman.
Nice.
Get that book. And he talks about the best way to the 7 principles, how friendship is the foundation, healthy communication, and long lasting relationships. The second book is the late, great Sue Johnson, Hold Me Tight by Sue Johnson. She believes that every argument, every conflict that you have with your partner has something to do with attachment. So she believes that hold me tight is really what all of us want from each other. Hold me tight, right? Hold me tight. Sue Johnson. The third book, y'all got to get this book. I don't want to talk about it. Overcoming the Secret Legacy of Male Depression. Tyrese needs this book by Terrence Real. He's a fellow social worker, and he ran a bunch of different books, a bunch of different, groups, men groups, and he talks about male depression. And he believes he has his whole method about relational life, about how men, men just need to deal with their depression and some emotions that they have. And that he says that sometimes we come from a place of superiority, where we feel like we're better than in relationships. And then some people come from a place of feeling like you're less than. So these 3 books, y'all get these books. I don't want to talk about it. Hold Me Tight and the 7 principles of making marriage work. I think everybody should read those 3 books. Everybody. If you want to be a good spouse, y'all ladies, you want a wife, you wonder why somebody ain't wifing you, read those 3 books and you'll figure it out. Men, y'all want to know why y'all can't find no woman, read those 3 books and you'll be a husband, a happy husband too.
Wow. And you can also follow Alicia at Coaching with Dr. Alicia if you want to hear what she has to say on a more regular basis. Or if you want to talk to her directly, you can go to coachingwithdralicia.com. So that's all set up. I'll put that on the screen for you guys who want to follow up. Okay, so as we kind of close up this discussion, first off, I want to make it clear I'm not interested in bashing Tyrese or bashing Samantha Lee. I think raising kids is really hard, and I don't want to be mean about it at all. At the same time, I think that you have to kind of acknowledge the fact that Tyrese is the one that's whining on the internet about it. And I'm going to say whining because that's what it feels like, honestly. Samantha's being quiet. I think that
she hasn't said anything.
Seems like she's kind of taking a little bit of the high road. Now, some people would say, oh, it's because she's screwing him over or whatever. No, everybody's got something to gripe about. And so what I'm impressed with Samantha is that she seems to be mature enough to say, I don't want our business out in the street. I don't want this to affect our child. And so I'm going to have to go ahead and honestly say that this does not make Tyrese look good. I see a lot of people that beat up on like Brian McKnight about what's going on with his kids and whatever. I don't know if you saw that. And did you see that? Yeah. He's doing this fatherhood series or something. And everybody's just so mad at him because they feel like he mistreated his biological children. And I don't like that kind of scrutiny because nobody really knows the whole story behind things. And I can just tell you, it's usually more complex than the public knows. But we claim to kind of understand the whole narrative. Kind of like even when you and I got married, there were people like, Kwame Brown, the basketball player, that did an entire video series about us. The man never met me, doesn't know you, doesn't know me, but had all these theories about who we were and why we got married and all this stuff. And I just think that I thought that was really fascinating. Like, wow, how do you absolutely know so much about something you know absolutely nothing about? That's pretty amazing. Your imagination has to be pretty wild to do that. So I kind of think that with Tyrese and Samantha, nobody knows what's going on here. So the only thing I do know, though, is that when you're going back and forth, the child has to be more important. I'm going to say this, and then I'd like to get your take on it. I feel like another theory I have is that if you're going to have a child with somebody, which should be intentional, it should not be something that happens accidentally. I think that it also helps to have a child with somebody who shares your same level of self-respect when it comes to how they handle disputes, right? Like if you're a person that wants to maintain, a good image with the world and not embarrass yourself, don't have a baby with somebody who's going to get ghetto if they get mad. Because that's going to make it awkward, because then you have, either you're going to get bashed or you're going to have to get as ghetto as they are. Seriously, I really
Boyce, people are in denial a lot. Denial is a very famous place to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, even personally, I would say, when I married you, like, I think if you were a person who was just gonna be like, let me tell y'all what Boyce did to me today, and I'm, and doing the whole Tyrese, I don't think I would have wanted to be married to somebody like that. I knew a lady that was like that, and when I was single, and I said, there's no way I would ever date a person like that, because every relationship has its complications. Every relationship has ups and downs, and the idea that some people want to go to the world and say, I was 100% victim, they were 100% perpetrator, that right there makes me not trust you. That makes me feel like
that's a sign that they if people want to externalize all of their issues, that's a sign that there's something wrong with them. They can't take ownership of anything. They can't see how they added or played a part in the confusion or the problem. Then that's always a red flag. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna feel sorry for Tyrese, the internationally known superstar who has been in freaking Transformers movies and Fast and Furious movies. Do you know how much money that Fast and Furious franchise makes? It's crazy. I mean, I don't know what his deal looks like, but Lord Jesus, do y'all know how many billions of dollars that franchise has made? And then the Transformers, I bet Tyrese has been in probably about $5 billion worth of movies. I mean, come on. I don't know. So do you have any parting thoughts? I don't want to just sit here and just but it's just kind of weird to me. Like I just can't. I don't get it. And that's the other thing too. Like, I think that people are internalizing it. Like, yeah, this is what every black man goes through. But most black men are not in a Transformer movie, so that this is not a typical experience. Do you have any parting thoughts? Something that's going to actually benefit us instead of me railing on about nonsense.
Read those 3 books. I don't want to talk about it. The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work and Hold Me Tight. I think it humanizes the issues that you have with your partner. I think on a human level, we really do have to look at this situation with Tyrese and just anybody who's going through baby mama drama or baby daddy drama. You really do need to just put your differences aside. And I just think so many people are just holding on to ill feelings because whatever happened between the two of you that made the relationship not work, it is going to take so much more maturity to put your differences to the side and really raise beautiful children. Like, make sure that they're in a loving environment, because we know no matter what the situation is, every child deserves to grow up with 2 parents who are mentally sound and a loving environment where they feel loved and cared for, so they can go out in this world with a great sense of self-esteem. And I mean, I think that is so important for children going forward. Yeah. It's hard. It's tough to do, but you have to put your differences aside.
$7 billion.
What's $7 billion? You looked it up, those movies? He can pay the $10,000.
Oh yeah, and Tyrese got paid well to be in those movies. It's not public, but the speculations he made between 10 and 15 million per movie. But then again, nobody knows that for sure.
$10,000 a month is not that much. I mean, she could have asked for more, I'm certain. What? So, and Samantha's not, I don't know what she does. I mean, she's a therapist, a social worker, right? So she can't be making, I mean, she's making pretty good money. I don't know what
she's not just making social worker money though. She's got a
nice that's true.
Yeah, when you get several 100,000 followers, you can make, some money off that if you
okay, I don't really know.
And her content is good. She does these like videos that are like a minute long, and she just kind of has her formula, and it works. It's good. It's good stuff.
What power to her. I mean, if she's really putting out, from what I can see, she's putting out pretty good information, and all of us need this. So
yeah. I wish them both the best. And for comparison, I think Kanye is paying $200,000 a month to Kim for child support. But he's got more kids with her. But it is
4.
interesting though. But it's interesting too, given that Kim's a billionaire. So it's kind of crazy to pay child support to a billionaire. But then again, that's their situation. But anyway, everybody, I wanted to go ahead and we're gonna bounce on out. But tomorrow morning, don't forget, we're gonna meet for Money in the Morning. So if you'd like to join us for class, just text the word morning to 87948. That's text morning to 87948, and that class is free. Also, if you'd like to follow Dr. Alicia and go meet with her, reach out, make an appointment, something like that, feel free to visit coachingwithdralicia.com. That's coachingwithdralicia.com. So if everybody could please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And also just one more reminder, I hope you all are coming to the All Black National Convention. The All Black National Convention is happening October 25th through the 27th. It's for Black people who want to improve our community. If you care about Black people's mental health and physical health, then the convention is for you. If you care about Black people's relationships, then the convention is for you. If you care about Black people and our wealth, the convention is for you. And we actually have a nice lineup. Brother Nuri, did I tell you, babe? Brother Nuri's coming in to Money in the Morning this week. Did I tell you that?
Oh my goodness, that's so cool. What day is he coming? Just on one day this week?
I think he'll be here on Thursday morning. Yeah, there's Brother Nuri. You see him?
I see him. Look at that, peeking over my shoulder.
yeah. Brother Nuri's bad boy Lamar Tyler, the Black millionaire maker. And
I'm gonna try to go. Can I come on Wednesday?
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's talk about it. We'll figure out a day to bring in for sure. And that's Dr. Ken Harris out of Detroit, one of the greatest Black leaders in this country. So we're we have the B1 ball. It's always a lot of fun. There are a ton of speakers and experts. Dr. Christina Parks, Ace Chapman, who's an investment banker who buys businesses. A lot of people don't know how many businesses are being left by boomers that can be bought for pennies on the dollar. Constance Carter, a real estate expert. Michelle Walker Davis, Dr. Lene Javette, Athena Gardner, just so many other amazing people. So if you'd like to join us or you'd like to see the schedule to see what's going to happen there, just visit allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. You can check out the testimonials from others who've attended and get a determination as to whether or not it fits you. I can guarantee you're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be amazing. So, by the way, Alvin wants to know the names of those books again. Can you names those books, babe?
I'll show you a picture too. 7. Can you see the 7 principles for making marriage work? John Gottman, 40 years of research on what makes a healthy marriage, what makes an unhealthy marriage. Get that book. The next one is, Hold Me Tight by Sue Johnson. She passed away about a month or so ago. So the late, great Sue Johnson. And she's British, but she's great. And then I Don't Want to Talk About It. This is about male depression and living a relational life by Terry Real. So get those books.
All right. Excellent. And also, if you'd like to get some free resources sent to you by Dr. Alicia, just text the word love to 87948, and she can send you some stuff that way as well. She's got a lot going on, and she's a smart lady. I married a smart one, so I'm proud of that. All right. So anyway, y'all have a great night, and I will see you all tomorrow, and bless you. And again, Tyrese, don't get offended, brother. I wasn't trying to hate on you, nothing like that. I wish you the very best. Same thing with Samantha.
Hey, Tyrese.
Right. Good luck. Just between me and you, Tyrese, just let's stop with the crying on the internet about come on, we gotta try
hold it together, Tyrese. I mean,
let's try something else.
It's great to see men be vulnerable, but when appropriate,
Men can't be vulnerable all the damn time. I'm not saying that we can't be vulnerable sometimes. I'm saying that, Lord Jesus, I mean, I get it. Sure, okay, yeah, show your emotions a little more. I get that. But can
you imagine having like a criteria? You want to interview. Tyrese is coming on your show and you want to interview him about a certain topic. And you're like, okay, Tyrese, today we're going to talk about your new album. We're going to talk about your new movie. And then all of a sudden he's like, forget the agenda. I'm going to sit here and make this an opportunity to cry about my ex-wife and my child. Like I would be mortified as a host.
Let me start with what I like about his vulnerability, right? What I do like about his vulnerability is that it's showing that men feel pain too, and that when our
Okay.
families break up, nobody really feel like people will empathize with what the woman goes through, I think, more than they empathize with the men. And I know a lot of men who are just broken and sad, because of what happened with their marriage and all that. I think that
Yes.
needs to be heard. I think that part's important. But I kind of think maybe Tyrese could probably try to approach it in a more disciplined and dignified fashion. I don't think that I think it can get to the point where it does give the appearance of almost like a type of celebrity narcissism, where you make the assumption that the entire world cares about your situation when everybody out here is dealing with stuff. Everybody's fighting a battle. And I think that there's a thin line there. And I don't know. I kind of feel like he kind of went a little bit too far with that. And I would just say right now, here's the other piece too. This is a practical real life kind of thing. you know, a lot of men get really excited especially when we're young, because if you make some money and you get a little fame, and then suddenly all these women want to be around you, but they don't see the dark side of that. They don't see the stress that a man feels when he's got to pay child support on a bunch of kids, or he's got, all these other complications that can come with into your life, because you're sort of, you've got these women that want to enter into your space. We were even talking about how 50 Cent was talking about how he went celibate because he needed to focus because there's too much like female attention and all that. I think that that's real, right? And I kind of feel like guys need to understand that the other side of the fame and the wealth and the women, it becomes child support court. I'll let you get the last word, babe.
Well, I mean, I don't know. 50 Cent is celibate. Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. I mean, we had questions about how celibate he really is, and
Right.
how do you get your sexual needs met? I mean, that's something of a discussion that we had earlier today. But there's something into like withholding. Y'all heard of Montauk Chia? Get the Montauk Chia book. I think that's a seminal book on intimacy. Montauk Chia, he's this really strange Asian guy, but he breaks it down like the anatomy and everything. So get the Montauk Chia book. But I mean, there is something to withholding, and you can get a lot of energy out of it. Apparently, that's the theory from Montauk Chia. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know anyone who's ever taken it up. Or who, if they have, they haven't shared it with me. So I don't know. I'm not all into people's life like that, but
Okay.
so.
All right. Well, by the way, Lady Red said you look beautiful this evening. I assume she's
Oh,
talking to you.
thank
I assume she's
you.
talking to you and not me. So I would say thank you, but that's your job. So
Well,
anyway,
beauty isn't within; it's on the inside. So I hope that's if people say that to me, I hope that's what they're commenting on.
okay,
My
all right.
inside.
All right, awesome. Well, it's great to see everybody. God bless you. And again, I'll see you all tomorrow morning for class. If you want to join us for free economic elevation training, we do financial consciousness every morning at 10 a.m. Just text the word morning to the number 87948, morning to 87948. I'll send you an invitation. Also, Dr. Alicia's website, one more time, is coachingwithdralicia.com. So feel free to go check that out. So you guys have a good night. God bless you. And we will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.